This video is brought to you by hoodbeast.com. Design your own custom hoodies. hoodbeast.com. We are beast.
Yo, what's up guys? It's me, Zach Lee. And it is all over. It's over. It's simple as that. The series is over. As much as it pains me to say this because I know what comes next for the NBA, I don't think the Cavs stand a chance in Game 4. I don't think the Cavs stand a chance in Game 4. Look, I was wrong. It's just with the way the Warriors were playing and the fact that Kyrie Irving and LeBron James both have phenomenal games in Game 3 and the Cavs still lost, I just didn't think there was any way they pulled out a win tonight either, but I was wrong. I'm man enough to admit when I was wrong. I was wrong, alright? And also Tristan Thompson. I might have been a bit extreme with my criticisms of you after the first 3 games, but you played better last night. Only you can break the Kardashian curse, so keep it up. Now with all of that out the way though, let's talk about what went down last night. And the first thing I want to talk about is what I woke up to seeing on Twitter first thing this morning. Look, I should have saw this coming. I really should have. A majority of what I saw were either 3-1 jokes or Warriors fans saying that the refs cost them the game. Look, hold up. Let me just check what the final score was real quick. 137 to 116. 21-point difference. Let me just check out some of these other numbers to make sure everything was in line here. See, the Warriors shot 36 free throws, Cavs shot 31. All right, the Warriors had 4 techs, the Cavs had 3 techs and a flagrant. Pretty much evens out. The Cavs had 41 rebounds, Warriors had 40, no big difference there. Warriors 26 assists, Cavs 27, still pretty even. Warriors 27 personal fouls, Cavs 24, not a big difference there either. Warriors attempted 87 shots, the Cavs attempted 87 shots. I don't get it. Something's off here. Let me just see. Where did those extra 21 points that the Cavs scored come from? Oh, I forgot. There it is. The Cavs made 24 out of 45 triples, while the Warriors only made 11 out of their 39. Yep, that's the refs. Look, I understand that there was a lot of stuff that went down in that game. It was a very physical, scrappy game with lots of trash talk. Dante Jones was about to get ejected before he even got to get in his garbage minutes at the end of the game. KD and LeBron were exchanging words. Thompson and Green were basically going at it the whole game. And yeah, some of the things the officials did or didn't do were questionable for both sides, not just against the Warriors but against the Cavs too. Think about this. If the refs really had it out for the Warriors and wanted them to lose, then why wasn't Draymond Green ejected? Even if there was some miscommunication, the scorers table and the refs, if they were rigging the game, you would think that throwing Draymond out the game would make their jobs easier. If the officials were against the Warriors, Zaza Pachulia would have been ejected for throwing a punch at Shumpert's nuts, since by the rules, throwing a punch results in an automatic ejection. I really just don't see how some people can sit there and say that the officials caused the Warriors to lose that game when it was clear as day that the Cleveland Cavaliers not being able to miss a shot for the majority of the game was the reason the Warriors lost that game. Refs don't cause you to lose by 21 points. If it was a 1 possession or 2 possession game and the refs get a call or 2 wrong, then yeah, you can kind of say if the officials didn't do that, your team could have won. And I'm just speaking more in general now. This applies to every team and every game, not just last night. I don't like the refs just as much as a typical sports fan. I don't trust them. And of course, their calls are inconsistent, they get them wrong, all of this stuff. But most of the time, not even most, a majority of the time, they are not the reason that teams lose games. I know I said this was just a general statement and not about the game last night, but I'm gonna use this as an example because it's still fresh in all of our minds. Let's say last night the Warriors come back in the game and the Cavs lose by 2 or 3 points. And during the Warriors comeback, there was 1 or 2 questionable calls that weren't eligible to be reviewed. I'm sure Cavs fans would also be complaining that the refs cost them the game, and the Warriors fans would be the ones saying that they lost themselves the game. But when you take into account that if the Cavs lost by 2 or 3, anywhere up to I'd say 7 points, they would have lost themselves the game at the free throw line because they missed 10 free throws. That's 10 more points they could have had, which would have changed the outcome of the game in that hypothetical situation. So while a bad call might hurt your team's chances a bit in a close game, not in a game when you're already down 15-20, it's never completely the ref's fault that your team lost. And with that out the way, let's get back to the game last night. And honestly, I just don't know how it's so hard to accept losing a single game. One game. I get that it would have been cool, or Warriors fan wanted to see a sweep of the entire playoffs, make history, would have been a great accomplishment, but you guys lose one game the entire playoffs, and now all of a sudden it's rigged and it's the ref's fault and all this other stuff. Y'all have got to be kidding me with that. Try being a fan of any other team in the NBA. I mean, there were times this year when my Pistons won and I thought it was rigged since I was so accustomed to seeing them losing. The Nets beat us more time last year than we beat them. Heck, we have lost more to the Nets this year than you guys have so far in the playoffs. It was to the point where if we were matched up in the playoffs with the Nets, I wouldn't be able to say with 100% certainty that we would win that series. Matter of fact, the Warriors have won more games in the past 3 years than my Pistons have won in like the past 7. And I never complained that it was the refs that cost us this game or the refs that cost us that game. So pardon me if it irks me that some fans are getting upset and butthurt that the Warriors lost one game, just one game in the playoffs, and are blaming everything other than the fact that the Cavs were playing great basketball. Pardon me. Look, LeBron played great last night. Kyrie was a walking inferno. J.R. Smith was hitting 35-foot triples. Kevin Love was hitting just about everything he was putting up. Deron Williams scored his first points of the series. Clap it up for that man real quick. Tristan Thompson breaks the Kardashian curse, and overall the Cavs hit the most triples in NBA playoff history in a single game. All of that stuff happens. Meanwhile, Curry and Thompson combined for what was it, 27 points, while Curry alone was basically averaging 39 and 9 in the series before last night. All of that stuff happens, and it's the ref's fault, or the game was rigged. Look, I don't know what else to say. That's ridiculous. Some of y'all is just tripping and need to learn how to hold a single L, just one. And if you really do need someone to blame for the loss last night, you can blame Draymond Green. As Kyrie Irving said, it was all the extracurricular or extra chatter on the side before the game that had the Cavs so fired up to win this game.
You mentioned the chatter coming from the Warriors. Was there anything that was said that particularly rubbed you the wrong way?
I mean, all of it. I mean, it's just, you know, it's part of the game. I understand that. But, you know, we knew what we were faced with. That was what it was. But then you add, of course, you know, some chatter in there. And, you know, that adds some extra motivation. And you give us a day in between. And, you know, we were ready to come out, especially me, because that taste wouldn't have been the same if we would have lost tonight and they would have celebrated on our home floor. So, you know, I'll just leave that at that.
And what he was referring to was Draymond Green coming out on Thursday night saying that it would be great and he wanted to celebrate on the Cavs home court in Game 4. So it wasn't the refs or anything else. It was that statement. It was the trash talk that had the Cavs fired up so much. And so if you want anyone to blame, like I said, blame Draymond Green, according to Irving at least. And that's going to lead us to the question of the day. And here's today's question of the day. Since the Cavs seem to be playing with a lot more fire, how do you now see this series going down? Do you think the Cavs even have the slightest chance at doing the impossible and pulling off the never done before 3-0 comeback? In my eyes, it is unlikely, and I think Game 5 will be the hardest for them to win. But if the Cavs can manage to win Game 5, the series is at least going to 7 games. And if it does get to 7 games, the Cavs will have all of the momentum. And I do mean all of the momentum. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below though. But now let's take a look at what you guys said in yesterday's video. And yesterday, after Rasheed Wallace said that the 04 Detroit Pistons could beat the 2017 Warriors in a best-of-7 series, I asked you guys who you thought would win in that series in both eras since the rules have changed over time. And here's what you guys said. 04 rules, Pistons win in 6 games. 17 rules, Warriors win in 5 games. Defense under the 04 rules would have been too much. The Pistons had size. The Warriors won weakness. Defense under the 17 rules are too soft for their era. And Billups and Prince would be in foul trouble consistently trying to chase Curry and KD off the 3-point line. Hate to say it, but I think the Warriors will win in both. The 2004 Pistons beat Shaq and Kobe at the peak of their powers, so they have every chance of being the Warriors if they're allowed to play how they did against the Lakers. Look, I don't think anyone would take the 04 Pistons in today's era because the way they play defense is no longer allowed. But like the last comment said, they did beat those Lakers 4-1 back then with both Shaq and Kobe. And that was a team that people thought were not just going to win their 4th ring in a row, but their 5th, 6th, 7th. You get the picture. They were just that dominant during that era. But they lost, and we all know what happened after that. Like I said though, leave your answers for today's question today down in the comment section below. But other than that, thank you guys once again for watching the video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more daily NBA videos. And until tomorrow, keep getting the buckets, Team SEC, and I'm out of here. Peace!